Hey everyone, welcome to our monthly call. This is all about most requested protocols, which is not a super like cool name, but it is actually really cool. And we're excited to hang out with you tonight. You can't touch that button. Okay, thank you. So we put our heads together tonight and came up with protocols that we like often get that text in the middle of the night or a message on Facebook in the middle of the night about like, tell me about that again or remind me about that. So there's like no rhyme or reason, just most requested, right? So take good notes if you can. We will, like some of mine are in a document that I can share later. So watch for the recording to go up in Fierce Oilers, and if you're not able to grab the notes out of the note section or take notes, you can grab info from there. Remember, raffles happen at the end, so make sure you stay on because you've got to be present to win. And if Sonia's already on with us, she gets to kick it off. She might not be on yet. Do we see Son?
She's here.
Okay, great. Sonia, I think you have the most requested protocol of all. So
Okay. All right. So I have a dryer ball recipe that I made, I don't know, quite a while ago, a few years back anyways. And I don't even totally remember how I came up with it, but I was looking in one of my books, I think, and kind of learning about base notes, middle notes, top notes, that kind of thing when it comes to the oils. And happened to put this little recipe together, and it's amazing. So what you'll want to do is have like an empty 15 ml or whatever you want to use for this. But the base note in this would be patchouli. So for any of you that have maybe like the Intune oil or even the new Shinrin Yoku, however you say it, oil, there's patchouli in that, and you can smell it, and it makes the smell linger. So so patchouli would be your base note, and then the middle notes would be ylang ylang, coriander, geranium. Those three: ylang ylang, coriander, and geranium. And then the top notes: spearmint and wild orange. So it's a combination of those 6 oils, and you can just do equal parts of all of them into your dryer bottle or into your 15 ml, and then dab a few drops onto your dryer balls each time you do laundry. And then what I also like to do is maybe have a second bottle of it on hand, and then when I'm folding my laundry, I will put a dab of it onto like all my towels, my bath towels or my face washcloths, and that kind of thing. So then it's kind of like a spa day when you're washing your face, and it makes your cabinets and everything smell good when you open them with your towels and all that stuff. So that's what I got.
thanks, Son. All right, Melissa, you're up.
Okay, well, so interesting. Of course, I couldn't decide, but these are the top 3, all right? So the first one is my colonoscopy tip, and some of you are of that age that this might be helpful, and others of you are like, yeah, I got a long way to go. But the bottom line is, I didn't even do that on purpose. Right when you're done with your prep and you're getting ready to go in for your procedure, right before you leave your house, I want you to take one of these enteric coated peppermint soft gels. So these are coated in a way that they will, they're actually they look a little blurry. Is that the word? Blurry? They're like not clear see-through because of the coating. I'm chasing one around on my desk. Look, they're little. Bigger than a beadlet, but not a honking big thing, right? Take that before you go, and actually it relaxes the smooth muscles of the large intestine, which is super helpful for during the procedure. It will help the procedure go more smoothly. I'm not doing this on purpose. And it will actually help your recovery be more comfortable. Okay. Laura Whipperman is just laughing at me. So don't forget to keep these in your house if you are having a procedure like that in the next year. Okay. There you go. Second thing I wanted to talk about is post-op protocols. So for people who are facing surgery of any kind, especially the kind where you have anesthesia, I would highly recommend this protocol for you that I put together a few years ago. It's tried and true. I'm going to put the link to the Google Doc in this when I'm done. There's too many things to read off to you, but like frankincense, bottoms of your feet, right? Diffuse your On Guard, especially if you're in the hospital. Pack your diffuser, have somebody keep that filled and with oils in it for you. And then things like rosemary or digestion on your belly to help you working the way you should, because pain pills interfere with that and you want to keep your body healthy. And then oils for taking care of your emotions and oils for your pain. So I've got all of that in this post-op oil protocol that I will put here for you. And the last one that people ask me about all the time that I was surprised nobody signed up for. Amy, did anybody sign up for the scrubbing paste? She's giving me the hairy eyeball.
No, because I thought you were going to give an intimacy recipe, and I was like, no wonder you didn't put your third one in the document. No, nobody signed up for scrubbing paste.
What exactly?
Okay, well, that one, that is my burn up the internet, guys. So I'm going to put that recipe in for you. But basically, it's vinegar and pure Castile soap. I don't know. Some people don't know what Castile soap, but this stuff is so gentle and pure that sometimes we just use a little bit in a bathtub to bathe a baby. Like, it's the most amazing thing, unscented. And we use it to make scrubbing paste instead of a more potent thing that you would buy over the counter. And it's amazing for getting all the little marks and scrapes and things out of your kitchen sink or off your furniture. I would highly recommend that you make this and have it on hand. So those are my top 3, guys.
Okay. All right. I have 3 recipes too, 3 of the protocols that I feel like I'm most often asked for. And 2 of them are Whitney's protocols. That's what happened when you have like children, they turn into
Warts.
protocols. Yes. So first is warts. So there are different
Apple
kinds
cider.
of warts. So did the apple cider vinegar go well or not so well?
Not so well.
Not so well. So I think that I didn't do it well. So you can do apple cider vinegar well, but Whitney is just hearkening to the days when I didn't do it so well. Let's talk about oils though that you can use. So there are different kinds of warts. What Whitney ultimately had was molluscum. And so this recipe, there was a testimony that I found that talked about how they were having to go back to the doctor every 2 weeks all year because of like they were popping up over and over again. And so they did like 4 times a day on her spine and feet and around the molluscum, not actually on it. And after 2 weeks, she had no new ones. And then they continued 2 to 3 times a day for a couple weeks after, just as a precaution, no issues since. So that recipe from that woman was like things that you might think of that maybe you've tried on different warts: On Guard, tea tree, oregano, marjoram, and thyme, like really heavy antiviral, antibacterial oils into a roller. And then there was another recipe that it came across that had a lot more oils in it. And you know how sometimes like you go on Pinterest and you find a recipe and you're like, wow, that's a lot of oils, but I'm desperate and I have them and I'm going to do it. And so I can post that one, but it's all the oils that she mentioned, plus clove, lavender, cypress, arbor vitae, cinnamon, and lemon. And so I just think that what I learned, we cleared hers up significantly very quickly by consistently using the roller around the area. Molluscum is a little different because sometimes it breaks open. So that's part of what the around the area is there. But we had a lot. It was very successful. So I'll put those recipes in the chat. The second recipe is Whitney's Owie spray. So put it in the chat if you know what 3 oils are always in Owie spray. If you're like a tried and true fierce oiler, you will know the trio that goes into everything. It's like the base, it's the foundation, it's the soothing, it's the healing, it's the cleansing. I know that somebody will know it. Lavender, frankincense, and tea tree. Yes. Okay, so lavender, frankincense, and tea tree. This is the go-to. We all use this for different combinations. We call it the classic Owie spray, but I call it Whit's Owie spray because sometimes in our house we need like extra cleansing properties. Things sometimes look funky very quickly that shouldn't be looking funky. So cuts and scrapes. And so I add into the OG Owie spray Manuka, if you have it, rose, arbor vitae, cilantro, and On Guard. If you don't have all of those, pick what you have, but those are ones that you could use to amp up the cleansing properties of that spray, which can be really helpful depending on what you have going on. And the last protocol that I want to share about that we get a lot of requests on, and a couple of the protocols being shared about tonight are from the Symphony of the Cells, but people ask a lot for the sensory protocol. And so this is from Symphony of the Cells, where you're doing a series of mostly 10 to 11 oils down the spine, the back, and the bottoms of the feet, focusing on certain like health goals or body systems. And so I'm not really like to supposed to give you like a picture of it, but I will share the protocol and how that works. Really, the book is worth its weight in gold. You'll learn that as you hear the other protocols, and there's an app as well. But that sensory protocol, as far as bringing people down, we still do it every night here for Whitney, and Zella gets one too, because she's a little sister, and Gary gets one pretty frequently too. So we think it's a really great resource for grounding people and keeping them even, helping them stay focused, helping them relationally kind of stay on track when they feel frazzled. So there's a lot of great benefits to that, but the sensory protocol I will share a picture of as well. And next we are over to Jerry.
Actually, that would be a good protocol for my topic. So I'm going to talk about, as I've been a practicing, many of you know, a dental hygienist for 40 something years. And, you know, not too many people really enjoy going to the dentist, right? And there's a spectrum of where people are at with this. Some people were, you know, they're a little anxious, but okay, I got to go. And other people are like, they can barely get themselves through the front door. And I have just a handful of people who have actually sat down, but have become so anxious that they've had to leave. So this was before I started using essential oils, and not everybody, a couple of patients I've suggested this to, and they're just not on board. So they do their own thing. But to me, adaptive is just, it's just awesome. And if you use adaptive with Copaiba, which enhances the effect of adaptive, even more so. So you can start with just the touch roller and using that before you get yourself to the dental office, and then take your touch roller with you to apply during your appointment if you need to, you know, on your pulse points, because it really is that calming, but it's not too much. Now, if you're really nervous, I would suggest, and this is what I've suggested to people, to take an adaptive soft gel even the night before, because some people are that anxious, and I know there's a few of you that I know are that way. And just taking the adaptive soft gel with a Copaiba, I think helps you sleep. Maybe even put a Serenity and adaptive, you know, that Serenity soft gel and adaptive soft gel, or, you know, experiment and see what works for you, and then take another one in the morning. Some of our patients have to do, you know, some type of tranquilizer, and then someone has to drive them to the office. So, you know, experiment with that adaptive soft gel with a Serenity and or Copaiba. And then the other thing that really makes a difference for you in calming yourself down when you're in the chair or getting to the office, look at your breathing. So I'm having actually I will put a plug in for another breathing webinar this coming Wednesday. For those of you who have not ever partaken in one, it's free. It's on Zoom. So if you're interested, let me know. The dentist that I work with, she and I are giving one together. But how you breathe is huge. And many know that, but sometimes you're not aware of when you're starting to breathe too fast, you're over breathing, you're breathing way too rapidly. And what that's doing is that's bringing in too much oxygen and expelling too much carbon dioxide. And that just creates a scattered, apprehensive, anxious brain. So you got to close your mouth and then breathe through your nose. But what happens if your nose is congested? That's when you go to breathe. So you can use, I give these to people. They're breathe inhalers, and you can buy empty ones on Amazon, and I'll put the link in there. And then there's a little, I've just made this one. There's a little, this part here, you push on there, but there's a cotton roller inside there, and I put 15 drops of breathe in there, and then you just take this off and you go, whoa, I can do it right now. And it helps to open up your airway, right? And then you pinch the other nostril and do the other side, and it really opens it up even more so than using the touch roller. So this is in my giveaway for tonight, one of these. And then you can also use your touch roller as well, which I'm giving one of these away too. So, but that's great for opening it up and keeping your nose open so you can breathe. When you're laying back, a lot of times and your mouth is open, your nose starts to get congested, and that's when you panic and you gag and you're like, I'm out of here. So being able to breathe through your nose is a game changer. It's huge. It calms you. There's nitric oxide being released through your nose, expands your blood vessels, calms you. It's huge. So you got to be able to breathe through your nose when you're sitting, and especially once you're laying back in that dental chair or having x-rays or x-ray sensors put in your mouth. Use your breathe and use your adaptive rollers. The two together are amazing. And that's what I've got for my protocols.
Okay, who is next? I know this.
It's Laura, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Laura, thank you. My things,
Wow.
nothing's loading.
Wow, Jerry, you are such a hard act to follow. You have just hit all my pain points in like 2 minutes. So I'm one of those people that has a hard time going to the dentist, and you've just given me some really good tips and protocols. So thank you. I get to talk about 3 of my favorites or most requested by people that I know. And the first one is a pain protocol. So I would start with a veggie capsule and take something internally because that's the fastest delivery system, right? So in a capsule, put equal drops of frankincense, oregano, and lemongrass. I recommend 5 drops of each, but it depends on how big your capsule is, whether it can hold that many drops. So capsules that you can purchase different places tend to vary by size. The doTERRA Veggie Caps will fit 15 drops, 5 of each oil times 3 for your pain capsule. So because you have 5 drops of each of those really potent oils, be sure to take this capsule with food. It's just really potent. And if there's room, or you could cut it down to 4 drops of each, then you can add a couple drops of FCO to your capsule for dilution. In addition to the capsule, and you can take that capsule as needed. It's not like a prescription medication or even an over-counter medication that tells you how many hours you have to wait before you can take another one. If your pain is due to inflammation, such as back pain, aches, headaches, muscle fatigue, soreness, restless leg, rheumatoid or osteoarthritis, tendonitis, cramps, bursitis, gout, you get the picture. I highly recommend the Symphony of the Cells inflammatory protocol, which you can have a loved one apply the oils to your feet and spine, or you can do it yourself. Frankincense and lemongrass are also in that protocol. And if you remember, I mentioned it as the 2 of the 3 oils that you should put in the capsule. So that's, that's for a good reason. Then along with that Symphony of the Cells, and you can do that like every other day, 3 times a week. And the pain capsules, like I said, as needed, you can apply Deep Blue to your pain point. So wherever it hurts, that's where you're going to put the Deep Blue. You can use the rub, which looks like this. You can use the touch, which looks like this. It's a roll-on and it's pre-diluted. You can use the 15 ml oil or the 5 ml oil blend. You can also use the Deep Blue stick, which my husband has hidden, so I couldn't find it before the call because he uses it every day. And that has copaiba in it. But you can use any of those versions of Deep Blue, and you can even layer them. So for example, put the oil on, the touch or the 5 ml first, massage it in, and then put the rub or the stick over. So you can add layers to that Deep Blue and do a topical approach. And then I also recommend a really good pain roller. Amy, you call it light blue, but I would add one more thing to it. It's 10 drops in a roller bottle of Deep Blue, 10 drops copaiba, and 10 drops of frankincense, and then top it with FCO. And that's really good topically, a topical approach to put on anywhere that it hurts. So my next most requested protocol is for plantar fasciitis, and I know a lot of us have that. So if you're experiencing some foot pain on the bottom of your feet and on your heel, I really have some help for you. So in a roller, again, and these are usually 10 milliliter rollers, put in 12 drops of Frank, 12 drops of helichrysum, 32 lemongrass, and 32 peppermint. And then top it with FCO. This team's really strong, but you know what? Plantar fasciitis really hurts. This roller gave me instant relief with my plantar issues. I would keep it right by the bedside and roll it on the bottoms of my feet, up my heel, and then up to the calf before getting out of bed in the morning. Because when you've been off your feet and the first thing you do when you get up is you put that weight on your feet, that's when it really hurts. So roll that on before you step on the floor. Okay. And when sitting down for the evening, keep that roller in your pocket and roll it on before getting up. Icing that area of the foot twice a day also helps a lot. Okay. So that's plantar fasciitis. And then urinary issues is another one that I have a lot of personal experience with. So it's my favorite. Lots of people who know me are aware that I've had some kidney stones, and they can sure be uncomfortable. An antispasmodic is super helpful for that kind of pain associated with a UTI or a bladder infection or a kidney stone kidney infection. So into a roller again, put 10 drops each of neroli, frankincense, cypress, helichrysum, and clary sage or fennel. Those are all really good antispasmodics. And frankincense just amplifies the property of those oils. So you top that with FCO and roll it on all over your lower abdomen and also over your kidney areas on your back several times a day. You can also take a cranberry extract supplement and up your water game, up your intake of water if you're experiencing any of those things, because that'll be a really great help too. And then the last thing for urinary issues is to use the Symphony of the Cells infectious disease protocol for a UTI, bladder or kidney infection. So obviously infectious disease goes with that. And for a kidney stone, you would use the lymphatic Symphony of the Cells protocol. And my husband has done that on me when I've had my kidney stones, and I've used that roller and it has helped a lot. So guys, the SOC, the Symphony of the Cells book, is a lifesaver. It's really inexpensive to purchase, and it's really easy to apply these oils to someone else or even yourself. So invest in a book for yourself, and I'm going to put the link in the chat for you.
Thanks, Laura Whip. All right, Mer.
Hey, Laura, I'm just gonna come right on your coattails about Symphony of the Cells, and I'm gonna finish this awesome conversation up with, if you don't have this book, get this book. Talk to the person that invited you. Soups. This is my second book, and I didn't write in it, but anyway, I'm surprised my book's not falling apart. We use it that much. My first book, shredded. So I wanted to just draw your attention. Laura mentioned, of course, one aim. Well, I'm not gonna talk about sensory, but 3 like go-to protocols that are like life-saving in our household. Not to mention, you cover an umbrella of so many things that I won't read through, but just to bring your attention to the first one, digestive protocol. If you have the SOTC book, it's page 27 is digestive. And I really encourage you to like take notes of how are your children respond after, and what, like, make this like a journal, like a health journal or wellness journal. Also Post-its. My other one had colors everywhere, markers highlighted. I just didn't need to do it with this one because it's a grab and go for me now. I grab the book, I lay it flat. Like, of course, there's oils all over it and FCO, but I lay it flat, whip out the oils, and we're like, boom, we get going. But the digestive, just for example, and I won't go over the other 2, there's body systems affected and influenced and possible conditions. So this is just a neat, like, learn as you go book, and it's a beautiful resource for anyone starting with oils, in the middle of oils, near end of life with it. Like, we're talking like anyone can do this. And then it's good for kids too, of course, because of the cool, for us too, but it shows like spine, breathe in, nose or feet. And it's just so neat. Okay. So we all love it. You can tell we're huge fans. If you don't have one, what, 11, 12 bucks, like, get one. It's the best resource you can have. There's many good resources. The Ab Amy also, I think, is $5 a month or whatnot, but you can
by all means do that too. So digestive is like one of the main, like who doesn't have or hear of their little ones having a tummy ache? And I roll my eyes and be like, dude, almost every night right now, because just for some reason, too many almonds or too many, and I'm like, dude, just, I love the digestion roll on touch, but this is the go-to for any digestion. Okay. Digestive stuff. And then some, even heartburn and all that. Page 35 is infectious disease ID. So ID stands for infectious disease. The first book might have had that. It's been so long. For years we've had that. Anyway, so it's the same thing, like candida, colds, like it goes through the whole thing. I won't go through. Just really powerful oils. It covers so many, even if it's like infectious disease, it'll still cover for like peaceful, calming, you know, it will teach. There's so much like relaxation with frank and peppermint, like it, and it's neat. Sometimes it starts frank and ends with peppermint, and it's really good. Thirdly, respiratory. I mean, if all of us could raise our hands or put a 1 or 2 in the comments who's used respiratory like 100 times. For real, like respiratory, it's where it's at with anything breathing, anything lung, anything sinus or sinusitis or sinusite, whatever. But I do like how if you don't have, this is what I love, if you don't have the oil, you go back, and I've used this a lot too, because sometimes with the oil substitution list, like you have a substitution list to go off of, and then you could take notes. And really my first book, I took what a few subs and I put it next to the oils if I didn't have them or ran out of them, or one kid opened up the whole Spikenard bottle and dumped it all over. Do you know how much that costs? I was like, I almost cried. Anyway, we got to stay on track here. Spikenard, the whole thing, one of my fave oils of all time, really strong. So the Symphony of the Cells is a go-to. And if you don't know the past history, which I will not bore you with the details, but I really already like had a respect for the Trumans, because before I heard of Boyd and before I even met him or Symphony of the Cells, I had his mother's book, Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. So this is like a legacy, a Truman legacy, or yeah, Boyd Truman, the Truman legacy. Like his mom laid and paved the way for him to like grow up into all the things that he is. And I met them through their books, but Feelings Buried Alive Never Die, somewhere in storage. But that was like life-changing for me in Minnesota when I worked at a wellness practice and a chiro, whatever, multifunctional wellness practice. So I learned about Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. Then I followed up with his first, Symphony of Cells, not to mention he's just brilliant and scientifically researched stuff, like the people in his clinic and all that. So yeah, there's trainings if you want to know more, but we're a fan of Symphony of the Cells here. And I just wanted to share on infectious diseases, digestion, and respiratory umbrella of many things that helps cover you. And I really hope you experience it. Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Mer. All right, Allie P, you can take us home. She's got a great thing to share with us. Okay, she was on. Oh, there.
She's on. She's trying to unmute.
I think.
Here, does
Hey.
it work?
Yeah.
Hi. Okay, sorry about that. Well, I guess I get a lot of questions about my little boy. He's almost 3 and he has a very rare seizure disorder. So my questions that I get revolve around like, how do we help him? How do we support him? And when he has 20, 30, I mean, he's had 80 seizures a day. And that is very, very taxing, especially on a little one, right? Like, so I guess my protocols for him start at bedtime because the most important thing for him is to sleep. So what I use is in the bathtub, I will put a couple drops of vetiver in there for him. And then balance. Balance seems to be really, really, really helpful. And then when he gets out of the bathtub, I put some cilantro across his liver, like right over his abdomen. And then we do an aroma touch, not a massage really. I mean, he's a little guy, but I just kind of rub it down his legs and then he thinks it's fun to like smush the lotion or the oil around that we put it in to dilute it. So that really helps him calm down enough where he can fall asleep quicker, I find. And then he falls asleep more restful, like he gets a better quality of sleep. And then in the morning, I let him choose. He's kind of, I guess, old enough now to pick out what scents that he likes. So he really enjoys the citrus one that just helps brighten up his mood. Because sometimes you can be quite groggy, especially if he's had a bunch of seizures. It's hard for him to recover and come out of. So we use a lot of like citrus bloom, wild orange, grapefruit for him. He also really it gravitates towards tamer. So like if he's having a hard day, he'll grab the tamer and he puts it on himself at this point. In fact, he won't even take a bath without his oils. So like my husband will try to give him a bath and he's like, wait, I need to grab these. And he'll go to his little stash and pick them, which is really cute. That's super important, I think, at a young age to help empower him to know how to take care of himself as well. And to help him feel more in control when he's not. Like these seizures really do just kind of take over. And then, yeah, with him, part of his healing is just his immune system. So we really don't want to get him bogged down with anything else. So something really useful to us is On Guard. We're just like On Guard everything, whether it's the wipes that we use, the hand gel, the sanitizing gel, the spray. I'm like spraying everything, but I do put rub it on the bottom of his feet for sure. And then with his seizures, we end up with a lot of injuries, unfortunately, like whether it's bruises here and there. So I just got some helichrysum, been using that on him for the bruises, which is amazing. Smells great too. It doesn't seem to bother him. Some of them, like the frankincense, are a little too strong for him. So I do have to dilute that a lot because it seems to bother him. But the helichrysum is great. And then the Correctex. So if he gets a little scrape or banged up, if he hits his head, Correctex is amazing. That is like takes care of it immediately, speeds up healing for him so quickly. And then we also use myrrh because he does get some mouth injuries, whether he has bit, his lips or something, or if he's fallen on his face. Myrrh doesn't taste the greatest. It's definitely not a favorite. But it's something that I can quickly like swipe just a teeny tiny bit on while he's sleeping. And it really does seem to take care of those injuries quicker because those tend to take a little while to heal, especially when you're eating and like spicy foods or sweet foods or cold and hot, like those can be really sensitive. So the myrrh really, really helps that. So that's what I got.
Thanks, Allie. That was really wonderful. We appreciate that. Okay, tell us in the chat something you learned or a protocol that you're excited to use, or maybe one that you hope you never have to use. Remember that you can click the 3 dots at the bottom of your screen if you want to save the chat and any info that was shared. If you have questions, you can put those in the chat box now. We'll stick around after raffles to make sure we can answer those and address those. All right, one last thing before we flip over to pick our winners. We're still doing this once a month. It's 2024, here we go. So next month is a call we've never done before, ever. And my mom and I are like, are we really gonna do it? And I created the Zoom link, so we are. You're never going to guess. We're playing bingo. Okay. So we're going to have a super fun bingo call on Zoom, and you are going to learn. It's still going to be educational, right? Because I wouldn't do a call if it wasn't educational. My mom would though. And so she'll be the fun. I'll be the education. And of course there will be giveaways. So the link is there. It's February 19th. All right, Melissa, do you want to help pick some winners?
Yeah, 2 quick things. If you are having a colonoscopy in the next 3 months, put your name in the chat and the date, and I will send you in the mail one of these. Okay. So that means January, February, or March colonoscopy. Put your name in there. Second thing is today's the 15th. Do you know that if you order by midnight tonight, 125 PV or more, you're going to get a free 5 milliliter bottle of the MetaPower blend. And I would highly recommend that if you haven't tried that, that is worth it. If you placed an order maybe of 100 or 89 or whatever, and you want to do another quick little order to make up the difference, would you email me or Amy tonight to let us know that you did that? And we'll make sure that those orders get combined so that you can get that freebie. Okay. Just wanted to point that out.
All right. So our first giveaway, Melissa's giving away a free colonoscopy, and then she writes, just kidding. A small bottle of unscented Castile soap. I don't know which is right.
All right, here we go.
Make your scrubbing paste.
Yes, for scrubbing paste. We'll make a bunch of combos. Carol Patterson, congratulations.
And we have nasal inhaler from Jerry.
Ooh, I should have put my name in there. Oh, Nancy Rubino, congratulations.
Okay, then we have Laura Whip is doing 2 rollers, and it will be the winner's choice of which roller they receive. Pain, plantar, UTI, or kidney. Just fun. All very fun. Okay, very generous. Thank you, Laura. I'm just being a goof. Who's the first one?
LEP is the winner for one of
Okay.
those.
Okay.
And one more person, right?
Yeah, one more.
And that is Vicky Wagner.
Awesome. And then last up is a 15 mil of Meta Power. Thanks, Mer.
And the last one is Carol Topaz.
Remind people what they should do when they're a winner.
Okay, so if you won, please, 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 right away, within like the next 5 minutes, I need you to text me or send me a private message letting me know what you won, if you can remember, if you heard it, and I need your address. Even if I've sent you something 1,000 times, I need your address so that I can get it out and I won't be up until midnight researching things. Or I can put it in the document for whoever is sending you that gift. So thank you for doing that for me. Someone wants to know where we can get the nasal inhalers.
Jerry posted it. I'm gonna reshare it. At 8:20 she shared it.
Okay.
So there's a reshare for that. I made it bold for some reason. You're welcome.
Okay, don't see anybody having a colonoscopy here.
Which is good news. Jenny, you asked about yeah, antispasmodic oils are also great, totally great for muscle cramps. So yeah, I would think it would absolutely be worth a try. I haven't specifically used it for, I'm not much of a muscle cramp kind of person, but I know when you like look up the antispasmodic oils, they're talking about all kinds of cramps, different kinds of cramping it can be used for.
Cypress.
Allie P, your choices were pain, plantar, kidney, or UTI. Plantar. I should make a note about that.
Yeah. Just getting some of this information down from people. Any other questions?
So Allie is for plantar and Vicky is for
Pain.
pain.
Okay, I'm writing that down. Thank you.
Just checking. Any other questions?
Nancy has her hand raised.
All right.
By accident. Sorry, guys.
Oh, that's okay. I liked it. I liked it. I felt like it was like, oh, hey, Nancy, thank you.
Waving back, waving back.
Oh, all right. Well, I think that's it, folks. So bingo in February, and we'll keep having trouble in Fierce Oilers until then.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.